Kirk stood frozen in his room staring at his phone. The message on the screen read, "Now, do you remember?" Something about those words didn't just scare him, it triggered something deep in his mind. At first, the memory was unclear and blurry, like something he had tried to forget. But slowly, it started coming back. Kirk began to remember a night from 3 years ago. It was raining heavily, and he had been walking home alone. The streets were quiet, just like they were now. At the time, it didn't seem like anything unusual, but as the memory became clearer, he realized that night was different. He remembered hearing footsteps behind him. They started off faint, but gradually became louder. Every time he turned around to check, there was no one there. Back then, he convinced himself it was just his imagination and continued walking. But now, the memory felt real. Kirk suddenly snapped back to the present, breathing heavily. He quickly picked up his phone and sent a message to the unknown number asking, "Who are you?" Before he could even think, his phone started ringing. It was the same unknown number calling again. Kirk hesitated for a moment, but then he answered. He said hello, but there was silence on the other end. After a brief moment, the same calm voice spoke again. The voice told him that he was starting to remember. Kirk, now clearly shaken, asked what the caller wanted from him. But instead of answering directly, the voice said something that made everything worse. It told him that he didn't just get followed that night, but that he was caught. Kirk was confused and frightened. He asked what the caller meant, but the voice continued, saying that Kerr simply didn't remember what happened after. At that moment, Kirk felt a sharp pain in his head, and suddenly the rest of the memory came back. He remembered being grabbed from behind. He remembered a hand covering his mouth, preventing him from breathing or calling for help. He had struggled, but everything quickly went dark. Kerr gasped and dropped his phone as the realization hit him. Someone had tried to suffocate him that night. His body began to shake as a terrifying thought crossed his mind. He started to wonder if the person calling him was the same person who attacked him. Before he could process it further, his phone buzzed again. A new message had arrived. With trembling hands, Kirk picked it up and opened it. This time it was a photo. When he looked at it, his fear grew even stronger. The image showed him lying on the ground, struggling, and behind him was a shadowy figure. The face of the person wasn't visible, but it was clear that someone had been there. Another message appeared immediately after. "Next time, you won't forget." Kirk felt completely overwhelmed. He slowly lifted his head, trying to make sense of everything happening. That was when he heard something. Footsteps. They were slow and heavy, and they were coming from just outside his door. Kirk stared toward the door, frozen in fear, as he realized that whatever had happened 3 years ago might not be over.